Oh, what is going on, ADA Nation? Welcome to the DApp Central YouTube channel. My name is Fareed, and as always, we're breaking down some of the latest news and updates going on in Cardano. Now, today's video will be a little bit shorter than normal, given the fact that I just got off two back-to-back interviews here for some projects, and I'll be covering those in just a minute. But as a part of today's video, I want to do a brief review of the Cardano TVL, as well as highlight a huge amount of Cardano native assets which have been coming into the ecosystem, or a lot of liquidity, I should say, that has been coming into Cardano native assets. Now, after that, I've got some news surrounding a member from IOHK, or Input Output, who has unfortunately left. And then after that, I want to touch on the Twin Protocol and OptionFlow. As I mentioned, today's episode will be a little bit shorter than normal, but as always, if you do find some use or some benefit out of today's video, please make sure to tap that like button. I'm also a single stake pool operator operating the official DApp Central stake pool. So if you'd like to show your support for myself in the channel, then consider delegating with the stake pool. The first piece of news I want to jump into as a part of today's Cardano scoop is going to be surrounding the total market inflow when it comes to Cardano native tokens, or CNTs. So it states here from the official TapTools platform, over 8.28 million ADA has officially entered the Cardano native asset market in the last 90 days. If you're wondering how this compares or is converted over to US dollars, that's more than $2.4 million coming into Cardano native assets. So not a small amount by any stretch of the imagination. Now, this has been over the last 30 days. And if you guys have been in the ecosystem over the last 30 days, then you'd be well aware that within the last 3 months, we've seen the launch and release of SNEC. We've seen LenFi, or AADA, which is what it was previously known as, hit an all-time high. We also even saw the Milk token from MuesliSwap do a 10x. So a lot of Cardano native tokens being adopted, being purchased, and all throughout the entire process being spread out within the ecosystem. Now, we are going to be touching on another token here that was also released by the MuesliSwap team, which is going to be the OptionFlow token in just a minute. So I wanted to touch on that piece of news there first. And if you guys want more stats like this surrounding the money flow and exactly what allocation is coming in from what type of wallet size, ranging from shrimps all the way to whales, then go ahead and pick up one of the Tappy NFTs being provided by the TapTools team. The next thing I want to jump into for this brief update is going to be the Cardano TVL, which currently sits at $182 million US right now. And when we look at the ADA valuation, we are just about to hit another all-time high. Now, that's going to be the 600 million ADA milestone. So we've just really been going up and to the right. It's kind of crazy how sustained this particular run has been, but it doesn't surprise me. The value of ADA is relatively low. You've got a lot of believers packing their bags right now. You've also got a lot of DeFi protocols building on the network, and you've also got a lot of brand new participants letting us know that they'll be entering the market, which again is going to be OptionFlow. Now, if we take a look at some of the top builders here, or some of the top TVL platforms, number one, we've got MinSwap. This has been the case for, I believe, the last year. They were one of the first few DEXs to launch on the Cardano network, which has basically stolen the community's heart. And they currently have a TVL of $51 million US. Over the last month alone, that has increased by 8%. Right at number two, we've got Indigo, which has announced that they will be releasing Indigo version V2 with a 30% or 29% increase over the last month. Coming in at number three, which is actually flipped over by Finance, is going to be Liquid. Now, they're boasting a 45% increase over the last month. And then coming in at number four, which used to be number three, is going to be Finance. Now, they are the latest DEX to come online in the Cardano ecosystem, and they have relatively stayed flat over the last month, adding just about 2.5%. Now, right behind them, we've got JED, which is going to be a stable coin, followed by MuesliSwap. Now, we are going to be touching a little bit more on MuesliSwap today, But as it stands right now, they have a TVL of $11 million, which has raised up over 58% in the last 30 days alone. Right behind them, we have another DEX, which is going to be Wing Riders, followed by AADA, as well as Sunday Swap. So I'm not going to go down through the entire list there, but definitely head over to DeFi Llama if you guys want to go ahead and stay in tune with the Cardano TVL. The next piece of news here for today's brief scoop will be surrounding the fact that Alex from IOHK, who was the main developer in the lead for the Lace wallet, which was released by IOG, has announced that he will be stepping away from input output. So it reads here, Alex IOHK, which is his handle, the head of the product for wallet and services and an integral member at Lace.io, has officially announced his departure from input output after 4.5 years since being at the company. Now he's doing this to quote unquote walk a different path. I did see the actual tweet that he put out himself earlier this morning. He doesn't really allude as to what his new endeavors are going to be, but he is going to be stepping away from the input output foundation. Now, the fact that he's been here for 4.5 years basically shows that he has been here since the very early days of Cardano, and it is quite unfortunate to be losing an OG from this space like Alex. So Alex, we wish you the best. And again, I wanted to briefly cover this here as a part of today's video. The next piece of news that I want to cover is going to be one surrounding the TVVIN protocol. Now, TVVIN is going to be a real world asset platform, basically tokenizing things off chain, such as commodities, and bringing those on chain to provide the exposure to those assets to members within the crypto or Cardano community. So as an example, think of, for example, gold, right? That's right now in physical form. And it's one of the most acknowledged pieces, or one of the most acknowledged metals right now on Earth. Now, what TVVIN is going to be doing is taking a storage or an amount of gold, basically fractionalizing that, and then representing that on chain through their protocol. And so what this basically means is that you will now be able to use the Cardano network to purchase real world assets. Now, this can give exposure to a lot of different things, which include gold, silver, platinum, and so many other precious metals. Now, it doesn't end there. They will also be adding additional commodities. Again, you can think of cocoa beans and just so many different things that could be tokenized and then represented on chain. Now, what I wanted to touch on here is the fact that I've just completed an interview with Thomas Tallis, who is going to be their CEO. Let's scroll down here on their website. And I want to just quickly show that here. If I zoom in there, he's up there at the top left-hand side. So Thomas was nice enough to take a little bit of a break from his workcation and shoot a interview style video here with me. So as a part of that, you guys can definitely stay tuned to view that here on the channel. We covered exactly what TVVIN is, what they're bringing to the Cardano and DeFi space, as well as which types of real world assets will be available on the initial launch of the platform. Following that, we touched on what sets TVVIN apart, as well as dove into some of the details surrounding their ongoing ISPO. Now, I do plan on releasing an additional ISPO video touching on some of the biggest ISPOs going on right now, given the fact that there just has been so many within the Cardano network. In closing, we talk about the recent partnership with Optum Finance, and again, stay tuned for that particular video. It will be releasing over the course of the next 24 to 48 hours. That's going to do it there for that particular update. If you guys are enjoying today's brief Cardano scoop update so far, I would really appreciate you if you could tap that like button. If it's your first time stopping by, consider subscribing. And if you have any questions for me surrounding Cardano in general, then make sure to leave a comment down below. Jumping into the very last topic here for today's brief scoop, I want to highlight the OptionFlow token. I did release a recent video breaking down the tokenomics and what we can expect from this particular protocol. But to summarize that, they're going to be the very first options platform on Cardano. So you will now be able to actually bet against or bet on the actual future price action for a particular asset. Again, if you guys are not familiar with options, I recommend you guys go ahead and check them out. They are a little bit more complicated than the traditional swaps or purchases of assets that we already have on Cardano, but this is going to open up a brand new door for the entire ecosystem, attracting new types of traders. Now, that aside, what they had promised was going to be a one-for-one claim from Milk token holders. The OptionFlow platform is going to be developed by the MuesliSwap team. Now, the MILK token will be a token of its own, and the OPT token will be the native governance token for the OptionFlow protocol. That said, they did officially, open up this claiming portal, which is available at opt.musliswap.com. So if you hold the MILK token, you will be able to claim a equal amount given the snapshot that was taken earlier this week. In closing of today's video, I want to briefly touch on some of the price action that we've seen for the OPT token, which is now nearing touching or being valued at 1 ADA. The token sale, which took place for this particular token, had it being sold at 0.3 ADA per OPT token, and that took place about last week or about a week ago. That said, that has almost 3x. So if you are a member or if you did participate as a part of the public token sale, in which we saw 30 million or about 70% of the total supply going out to the community, then you are sitting up right now on a nice profit. So again, wanted to briefly touch on this here. And at the time that I'm shooting this video, we can see that right now the circulating supply is currently sitting at 83%. So we're not going to get a lot more new tokens coming into the ecosystem. So definitely one to keep an eye out on. We now have also crossed over 4,000 holders. So that's it, I think, for today's video. Again, relatively brief, short, and quick. If you guys found this particular video to be helpful or insightful in any way, shape, or form, I would really appreciate it if you could tap that like button. If it's your first time stopping by the channel and you want more content like this, consider subscribing. And if you have any questions for me surrounding Cardano or any other topics that we broke down as a part of today's video, then as always, make sure to go ahead and leave a comment down below. That said, I will see you guys in the next video.